Well, good, wonderful midday to those of you who will be joining us live, or for those who will be joining us later. We are grateful to God for the opportunity and the privilege to be able to come into this moment with you. Kathy, how are you? Praying all is well with you and yours. Okay. And so we are looking so forward to the opportunity to be able to pour into you and to let you know exactly what God has the power to do. So, with that being said, we bless the Lord. Lavonda, how are you? I'm just texting someone back, so please, I'm so sorry. Minister Sarah, bless your heart, bless your heart. Cora, how are you? Carolyn, praying you're well. Thank you so much for being here with us and being a part of this moment. Please excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Nancy Gladys Jemison, bless the Lord for those of you who are here with us right now, and we're grateful to God for you, one and all. Carletta, good midday. Tom, bless your heart. Thank you for being here and being with us and being a part of these moments of sharing one with the other. Linda, good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you here with us again. Make sure you lay on that share button, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Facebook. You can do that. Lay on that share button. Let them folk know that us is here. Rosabelle, how are you? Stephanie, just checking to make sure all is well with you, one and all. So we're grateful to God for those of you who are here with us on today. Okay. I'm fine, Cor. I appreciate that. And there's no rest coming anytime soon. Valerie, how are you? Okay. Jaleesa, get off my page. How y'all doing? Good to have you. Good to have you. Good. No, won't be no rest. Little man is coming to the house again, and I'll be watching him while his mother goes somewhere to do something. Bless the name of the Lord. Mr. Fay, how are you? And I'm doing quite well. It takes a little while for some things to get out of your system. And once it does that, then I will be absolutely fantabulous. Christy, how are you? Thea, come on in the room. Thank y'all so much for being here with us. Doe, okay? We're praying for your dad. Let him know that we're lifting him in prayer. Barbara, good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have. Now I'm going to be on here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I will not be here Friday. I have a funeral to attend. So we're asking that you would remember that. I'll post something out there to kind of remind you and to let you know what's what. Also, don't forget church picnic is Sunday, 12 to 3. Or 12 to 4, something like 12 to 3, probably. A few hours will be just fantastic. Tamika, how are you? Proud of your chillins. Proud of your chillins, girl. And I know you are as well. So, again, thank you, one. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. Whether you are live or whether you'll be watching later, we are grateful to God for you, one. And listen, I was thinking about something, and as I was thinking, it was pretty relevant to the passage that I plan on completing on today, because I think that I was watching. Hey, Carolyn, how are you, Carolyn Williams? Um, it was extremely difficult to watch the convention last night, only because I still had the sedation in my system, and so it was kind of like in and out, whatever. I was Rhonda Fletcher, bless your heart. I was looking at I was I was I was actually mesmerized over the fact that all of a sudden there seems to be a shift in the mentality of what's happening in the political arena. Sylvia Scott, bless you for being here. Barbara Harper, you holding it down in Columbus. I want you to handle your business now, or as we used to say back in the day, your bizwax. Okay. And so I looked at the enthusiasm. I looked at, to the best of my ability, and listened and watched many of the participants, the speakers. I looked at what has happened where a little over a month ago, dread and fear was controlling everything. Thank you, James. Appreciate you, sir. It was to the point that we were actually paralyzed by fear. Why? Because it didn't look like it was going to work out. It didn't look like things were going to be well. It didn't look like any of these things were going to. Pamela, Denise, how are you? And so all of a sudden, something changed. And when you look at Isaiah 41:10, especially the one young lady, oh, I can't think of her name. She's from Texas. Uh, Dark skin, had on black and white. And so, hey, Timothy, how are you? And so, Sherry Lovelace, bless the Lord for you being here. And she, that's her, Jasmine Crockett. Yes, she began to tear up because at the lowest moment in her life, Kamala Harris all of a sudden identified something in her. She was wondering whether she could make it. She was wondering whether she had did the wrong thing, wondering if this was, and she told her that God had prepared her for such a time as this. I gotta get us to pray that I can keep my eyes open tonight, because I'm telling you, before yesterday's procedure, I was already sleepy at 9 o'clock, 9:10, 9:30, something like that. And when I looked at that, and I want you to get this, she spoke something into her that caused something to move out of her. Trinette, bless your heart. Uh, she spoke life into her, and fear left her. And she became overwhelmingly emotional. Why did she do that? Because here was someone who is powerful, renowned, known, who spoke to someone who, for the most part, wasn't really anybody at that particular time. And she took the time out to speak into her, to let her know that she had been appointed for such a time as this. This tells us something when we look at Isaiah 41:10. And I got to say this. Hey, Gaither, how are you? I got to say this. How often do we speak into people at their lowest moments? How often, Lisa, do we speak into people when we sense and see that something's going on? He says, do not fear, I'm with you. Do not be anxious, looking about you, for I am your God. He says, hey, Ann, how are you? Listen to me. If there was not a Kamala there, if there was not a Joe Biden there, if there was not a senator or a congressperson or a leader that was there, look at who's talking to you. Look at who's speaking into you. If there was no Raphael Warnock, which for the most part was just absolutely unbelievable, you got to learn how to know who's with you. He says, quit looking around and being controlled by what you see. And that right there, my sisters and my brothers, Sometimes we have allowed the environment to control our faith and to cause us to feel as if we are failures. Mary Moss, bless your heart. Tell that little girl I said hello. He says, this is what I'm going to do to you because, first of all, I already recognize that you're frail and you've got faults. Okay. Okay. Waiting for the B4, B3. Sonia, how are you? See, and I feel like preaching this one. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I feel this in my spirit. This is something that's rising. I mean, when I tell you it, God spoke. And see, here's the thing about people who are God conscious. People who are God conscious will always move with God when no one else will. Y'all need to catch it. Kamala Harris spoke to her when she was at the lowest ebbs of her life and spoke life into her, and she flew and took off, and now fear is no longer a factor in her life. So here's what I'm trying to get you to see. Quit looking around worried about what you see and how you see what you see, how you see. You got to remember who's with you. He said, I'm your God. It's a personification. He says, I am your personal God. Yes, I was Big Mama's God. Yes, I was Daddy's God. Yes, I was all of that. But you got to remember, I'm so much of who I am that I can individualize myself in you so that you don't have to worry about being afraid. Mm, 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 mm. And so he says, here's what happened. Even when you move in weakness, he said, I'll strengthen you. He says that at the worst time in your life, I will strengthen, I will encourage, I will do what needs to be done. Why? He says, because I want you to know without a shadow of a doubt that no matter where you are in life, I will help you. Is there somebody? I'm about to shout. Is there somebody here today who can testify to the fact when your mother and father forsook you, that's when the Lord picked? Is there somebody here today who can acknowledge the fact that he said he'll strengthen you and he'll help you? Is there somebody? Is there somebody that God has helped when nobody else? Gail, I wish I had a couple people that are catching where I'm coming from, because I believe there's an anointing flowing right now of an unbelievable magnitude. I believe there's some yoke destroying moments that are happening right now. I believe there's some demon busting moments going on because there's somebody who is out here live, or there's somebody watching that needs to understand, Linda Williams, that needs to understand without a shadow of a doubt that though he slay me, yet will you trust him in the midst of everything that has happened, in the midst of the madness, in the midst of the disappointments, in the midst of the letdowns, in the midst of those moments. Hey, Sheriff, look, good to have you. Listen, in the midst of everything, Mark, bless the Lord for you being here with us. In the midst of all of the madness that has happened in your life, you still haven't lost your mind. Why? He said, because I'll strengthen you. Have you ever had a moment when you couldn't stop crying? Did you ever have a moment when you weren't sure what to do? Have you ever had a moment when it looked like everything was falling apart and God stepped into the midst of it? He said, I'll help you. He said, if you trust me, I'll help you. If you believe me, I'll help you. He says, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold you upright with my righteous right hand. Right hand means hand of authority and power. He said, you ain't never got to worry about nothing. You ain't never got to come up short. You ain't never, ever, 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 never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever in your life have to worry about whether I will leave you, because I've already told you I'll never leave you nor forsake. I am your best friend. I'm a help in time of trouble. I am joy when you have been out of shape. He says, here's what I'm going to do for you. And I wish I had at least 3 people who are catching where I'm coming from. Why? Because the race has not been given to the swift nor to the strong, but to those that endure to the end. And I don't know about anybody else, but I plan on winning. Where my Sunday morning folk for the past 2 Sundays, I plan on winning. I will not be defeated. You might knock me down, but you can't knock me out. You might throw me for a loop, but I'm going to loop back up into the race again. I wish I had somebody that understood that no matter how difficult things get, and they do, he said, I'll strengthen you I will help you. I will dust you off and give you another chance. I got to go. I done went over my time. Listen, 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 listen. I got to calm down. I got to calm down. I got to calm down. I got to, oh, bless his holy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Rhonda, don't start running because I'm going to run with you. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what, and see, this has absolutely no relevancy whatsoever unless you've been down and out, unless you've been forsaken, unless you've been misused and abused. If this has happened in your life and you are still functional, you are still capable, you still have cognition, you still have, as grandmama used to say, reasonable health and strength, if you still are able to put one foot in front of the other, it ain't you that's doing it, it's God that's doing it through you, because he said, number one, I won't leave you, I won't forsake you, I will be there in the midst of everything that has ever gone crazy in your life. Because guess what? Everything ain't gonna be crazy, but when I take you through the crazy moments, you gonna give me a crazy praise. You gonna give me something, because you understand that the only reason you are here right now is because I have been faithful to my word to you. I got to go. Listen, love y'all with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. Y'all have a blessed day of the Lord. Pray for me, because my little guy is coming over and he's going to wear me out. But it's good wearing out, because I'm able to pour into that little boy so he can become whatever God wants him to be, even after I'm gone. Listen, may God bless you. May he keep you, is our prayer.